Hey everybody, welcome to another bonus episode from San Diego Comic-Con of Horror Movie Night, and we've just left the Cockroach Con presentation of the Shout and Scream Factory titles announced. That was insane.
Why was there a cockroach just sort of randomly, of course, just in the middle of our panel, of course.
Why was the cockroach the size of a dollar bill?
I don't know. People were really freaking out on that one. I was just massive. It's good seeing you again.
Good to see you. This has become, I think, 4 years now. Mm-hmm. We got this going.
Yep.
So, question right out the gate. There was one title announced by Shout that I thought, I wonder if Jeff tried to put in a bid for this one for Scream Factory.
Which was?
Very Bad Things. Did you try to angle that?
Very Bad Thing. No, I did not.
Okay.
That was not mine. No,
okay.
Believe me, I will take credit when a title is come in. Can't Stop the Music this year was a me title. I'm a Village Person fan or whatever.
I just thought, it's darker than most dark comedies. I was like, I could see.
Nope, I didn't. You know what? Didn't bring that one in.
All right. Well then, I want to talk about my favorite thing that you guys have been doing this year, which is the overwhelming amount of Hammer and Universal releases that you guys have been doing.
Yeah.
Every time that I get an email about Deadly Mantis and Tarantula, I'm like, this is awesome.
Yeah.
What led to you guys deciding to open up that door this year?
So a confluence of a lot of things. Number one, we made 2 deals with Hammer Films and a company called Studio Canal, where they had Hammer Films both between their respective libraries. So they just so happened to combine at the same time, and that's why we've been able to put out a non-stop, flurry of Hammer titles this year, which have been so well received. Cliff McMillan, who's not here, who's my other half at Scream Factory, is a huge Hammer fan, and he's been doing a fantastic job. Also, the masters that have been given to us have been really good, so that's been going over well. Universal, we've had a relationship with them for several years. They're fantastic partners. It was them finally opening up the doors to some of those older classics that we were able to then go in and exploit on Blu-ray.
And I gotta say, they look so good.
Yes, and you know what? When you're dealing with older films like that, it's very tricky because we're talking older films. They're sensitive. You have to, grain, and there's a whole lot of things that are going on. Again, Cliff McMillan, who has been leading that charge. I tip my hat off to him. He makes it look very easy.
That black and white, for whatever reason, with the transfer, just really pops.
Yeah.
The Deadly Mantis looks better than it ever deserved to look.
I personally love Tarantula, and I think Tarantula looks amazing.
It's great to see these movies, because those are the ones that I think a lot of us, that was our start in horror. Was, for me, it was my grandfather would make me watch those movies, and it spawned from that, so it was great.
We always have to remember our beginnings of horror.
Exactly. And you've got a bunch of really cool 70s titles coming out. I know you've got Let's Scare Jessica to Death, which is such a hidden gem that's so good.
I don't think enough people really know just how well done that movie is, but we are glad to finally get it out. We've had requests for it for the longest time. It goes into that, it's almost like, I don't want to say it's like, like The Sentinel is underrated. It's kind of like one of those movies where people are like, I know that movie, it bugged me, it scared me, it got under my skin somehow, and yet it's not as popular as The Omen or The Exorcist or movies from the 70s at that time. I'm really happy that we're putting that one out.
And it's way more psychological than
Absolutely.
It's not a lot of jump scares, it's just uncomfortableness.
Just creepy. Yeah. It's creepy, and you don't know what's going on, if it's in her head, if it's, is she being gaslit? Like, there's all this stuff that's going on.
Also from the 70s, which got me insanely excited, with one of my favorite kills in film history, is you've got The Prophecy coming out.
God. You mean the
sleeping bag?
The sleeping bag kill? So I have a poster of Prophecy that I brought into the office when I knew we were getting this. I've seen Prophecy so many times. I don't know why. It is a ambitious movie. It's a good-looking movie, and they attempted to make this grand movie. It came out a week before Alien, and then Alien obliterated it off the page, and it just is kind of corny.
It's charming.
But it's charming. Stephen King liked it enough to write it about it in a book called Danse Macabre that he did. And that goopy looking sausage bear that's running around at the end of the movie, it's just I never get tired of
The
it.
chainsaw fight. There's
just,
so much.
There's few things. Yeah,
Now,
I love it.
Combining what Shout Factory is known for the most part, which is the 80s releases, and this year you've got this Fly collection of the 50s meets the 80s.
Yeah.
What an awesome release.
Oh, yeah. So, again, that came to us from our relationship from Fox. Recently, we just announced the Omen collection, which got received really well, and we're really glad. Cliff McMillan's was really a champion for The Fly, and so this is his baby, and I give him all the credit on that. But we got good artwork that's going on. Two of those films, I think it's Curse of the Fly and The Fly 2, have not been on Blu-ray in the States and Canada yet, and I know that he'll do everything that he can to put the best extras and package together.
And I feel like The Curse of the Fly is one of those movies that you don't realize or Return of the Fly has that giant fly head creature, which is what I thought was the creature in the original Fly.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't until I really sat down and watched it, I was like, this is in the schlockier one.
Right.
So you've got a bunch of great 80s titles that are rolling out. You've got My Bloody Valentine,
Oh,
which
my
is
God.
huge.
So I know that fans are probably losing their shit on this. I would be. It had been out on Blu-ray before, but it's now out of print. Also, that Blu-ray has caused problems with people's players because it branched off into theatrical and unrated. We're going to correct that and put them on two different discs.
So the unrated is going to be...
The unrated, of course. How could we not do that? We are in progress. This is obviously going to come out before Valentine's Day, and we're going to do our best to raise the stakes on it. We love the film. I love this. I know this. I watch this movie every February next to Valentine, and that's just what I do. And a lot of fans do.
It's the best romantic comedy horror ever produced. And then we've got Silver Bullet and Pet Sematary 2, and of course The Big Trouble in Little China.
Yes, all of those. Oh, you forgot The Fan as well.
Well, that's what I was about to say. The only one I don't know is the one that I've been seeing you post on Facebook for... You've been hinting at this for like a week. So what is The Fan? Tell me on The Fan.
So before I get to it, let me go on the other one. Silver Bullet, Big Trouble, no-brainers. Pet Sematary 2, we think they're all going to do well. They'll all be collector's editions. I'm very proud that we were able to get those out there. I hope we can do Big Trouble right. We want our release to be the definitive release on it. We've done so well with our Carpenters, The Fog, all that other stuff. We're going to do our best, guys. Cliff is on this. The Fan, to answer your question really quickly, it's a confusing, weird, odd slasher film that came out literally the same month as Happy Birthday to Me, The Burning, Graduation Day, and Friday the 13th Part 2 in theaters from Paramount. And it is a curious slasher film with a lot of razor blades and a score from Pino Donaggio, who did Just to Kill and Carrie. Michael Biehn is very intense in this. There's Broadway numbers. It's an odd film. It checks off some buttons for me as far as just like, okay, I got camp, I got violence, I got this. I hope more people see it. More when you say the movie The Fan, most people think of the Robert De Niro movie, and I'm like, no, it's not that one. It's the Michael Biehn one.
All right, and every year I kind of ask the same question, but we're going to go with it again this year. So, if there's a movie that people have asked you about for a while, I know you say never, but is there any titles this year where it's like, guys, you're going to probably have to not ask for a while?
So I can be honest with this. I don't see us having a path to Fright Night Part 2.
Okay.
The legal issues and the who owns this and the ownership issues, that is a problem, and it's still a problem that we can't overcome. I would say that it is probably unlikely that we would get Dawn of the Dead 1978.
Okay.
I think that is something that we tried and negotiated with years ago. We couldn't come through. Those two titles are probably the only two that I would say are not going to happen. I still like to say never say never. Okay. And of course, we talk about this every year, Alligator.
I
Alligator
dream
was
of
something
Alligator.
that I would love to announce one day. I'll just leave your listeners with this: never say never. Just leave it at that. We still have Alligator on our minds.
Well, thank you so much, Jeff.
Of course.
As always,
thank you.
Have a safe trip home, and hope it was a great Comic-Con.
Thank you. It was. Thanks, man.
You're listening to the Geekscape Network.